All right, I'm in for the air signs. I got one more chart to go, or one more element to go here. A little warning about the energies I'm picking up on. Again, it may not resonate with everyone. In fact, it's probably a good thing if it doesn't resonate. But my intention here with these readings was to inform people of how they are off track in a guided kind of way, getting them to tap into their intuition. So a lot of people are just oblivious to their intuition still, is what I'm getting. So wanting to illuminate that more clearly. There's an urgency here of an energy flux that's coming. I'm getting like 20th to 23rd of June and July. There's some, what I'm getting is like a short burst, and then a huge burst, and then another short burst. And these are to kind of break up the barriers. Like if you're thinking of like a bomb, and it's going to shake the walls, and anything that is not solid will not stand. So this is the energy that's going to be coming through a lot of these readings, and I'm just trying to illuminate this for you so that you can go most smoothly in the way that you're meant to go for your highest good, because this is really where I come from. So with that being said, hopefully these help you. Hopefully the flux is a good one. Okay, air signs: Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, in that order. I've got some chakra cards here. We're going to go lightly on the top, and then we're going to go into the love and intimacy areas to see if there's stuff there that needs to be illuminated. So here we go. First chakra card for Aquarius. First up, 18, the moon. So, oh, we glare? No, we're glaring. Okay, so the moon, right? The two wolves. This is interesting to me. I haven't quite had this card come out. The two moons basically symbolizing, or the two wolves symbolizing phases, right? Light and dark. This is really what's going on universally as well. There's little undercurrents here. And again, everything that's going on globally is really going to be reflected personally as well. There's offshoots of this that are going to be in our midst. So the moon, the element, the two wolves, light and dark, we may have some kind of this that we're trying to figure out. The Aquarians may be going through a mode here. I feel like the Aquarian is the one in the middle, standing there going, who do I trust, the light or the dark wolf? Dark wolf is coming at me, and the light wolf is there almost as a guard. So senses, we may not know the difference between the two, or we may be being tricked, or something like this. Okay, so there's secrets abound here. We're trying to get underneath. It's highlighted. Next card, 8 of Wands. That's about action, movement, travel. Moving onward and upward is what they said. We're trying to do this in the most clear path. I think it's the path. We're looking which path to take here. This is what we may be deceived by. You're going correct. The moon is the night, and even during the night, even on a full moon, we can be tricked about the path that we're on. Though the full moon is the most illuminated you'll get in the darkness, it's still darkness. So there's a sense of that happening here, or being amplified here. Next card, the Lovers. This is the direction. This is the direction of where we're going now. It's interesting to me, sorry about the glare. It's interesting to me, the Lovers here, there's a person looking at this photograph, this picture, right? This artwork. This could be, we're in dreamland dreaming of this. This could be, we're in a phase of this where we may be under an illusion and trying to make some quick choices here, moving upward. I feel like the 8 of Wands here is about, we want to make the right decision and we want to act quickly, or we may be asked to act quickly, but we want to make the right decision, and we may get tripped up, is the sense. Okay, and again, is this something that we're looking for, searching for? Yes. may have to seek through, is the sense. Usually this is weekly energy, but I'm feeling like this has been here for a long time. Trying to see the black and white of this. I'm again, that black and white. But they're kind of chuckling up there going, isn't this what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't have to be spitting it out. Where is it we need to go? What is for our highest good, right? Following the light is not such an easy road to just pick here, because people pretend to be of light and then reveal themselves later after things have gone down a certain. This is kind of the energy I'm getting. So on top of the moon, to clarify a little deeper here, we have rigid. This is interesting because what's going on here is the Aquarius is taking a rigid stance, even though they truly don't understand what's going on at this time. They've taken a rigid stance. I feel it is to filter somewhat to a degree. They're taking a stance saying, that's it, this is this, and that's it. I've made my decision, even though they don't know with clarity, with great clarity. There's still a lot of secrets here. They don't know. They've taken a stand nonetheless, a rigid one nonetheless, and maybe a wall that they've put up against someone else in defense. Okay, so on the Eight of Wands, again, that motion of wanting to move upward and onward quickly, and it is an action card. It is also about communications that can come in. Each wand can be a symbol of something coming at you in that way. Can be the arrows of love, which is somewhat the case here. On top of that, to clarify, we got letting go. Now, yeah, I'm not any clearer on this myself. Just give me a minute here. There's butterflies. That's talking about transformations that are wanting to happen in the lives of the Aquarian. There's something about this barrier and the transformation of this barrier that is causing problems. Havoc is what they said. It's their word. Give me a minute here, because this energy kind of goes back here. Yeah, I feel like they want to look at the butterflies and the letting go. Look at the same color scheme here. Yeah, we've put a foot down or a wall up, okay? We put this wall up. This goes over top of that. Even though we have mysteries abound here, we've gone with as much as we know. We're going to go with that information and make decisions. Why? Because we're trying to increase our vibration and go forward in the energy of action. We're making movement in a way here. We haven't got all the facts. There it is. I hit it. Okay. In a love direction. We've made a decision, and I get the sense we're not on the right path here, but nonetheless, okay. We made the decision, stuck to our guns here because we want to move forward with a lover. So the rigidness, right, is that taking a stand even though we don't know fully what's going on, or we may not have all the facts, or somebody may be in secrecy here. And about moving onward and upward, there's a transformation happening. Whether we like it or not, whether we've made the right decision or not, this transformation is going forward. Now, on top of the lovers, this is a weird energy I'm tapping into here. High Priestess of Air, so there is the element. Even though I feel we are in a comfortable spot with a lover or a possibility of such, I feel we are where we're meant to be. The High Priestess of Air, they're going, this is where exactly where we're supposed to be, even though it's unclear, unprecedented, this kind of thing. We are where we're meant to be at this time, in a fated sort of way, even though there's nothing fateful going on at this exact moment. Or they're going, no, everything here is fateful. This Aquarian is very much in a crunch zone. Just give me a minute. But nonetheless, we are where we're supposed to be. So we'll just leave it at that. We'll go to the next line. So on top of this rigid stance, again, walling up against someone. We don't have all the facts, and I feel like it's a baby with the bathwater thing. We're just throwing everything at the curb. We don't care if we get all the facts. We've seen enough here. We need to move forward, and we're just shutting things out, okay, in the process. This is really what's going on. So on top of that energy, we get Two of Wands. Be bold and move. So decisions, taking action in, and also this decision of left or right. Where are we going to go here? Black dog, white dog, or wolf, whatever. There's two ways of being here. And I was just kind of trying to clarify here. I'm like, did they make a decision? And because I'm like, the feeling that we made a decision, we put up a wall. There's no decisions made here. In the areas that they need to be is what they said. So this is what we have to do here, is make a decision. There's something here that needs to be let go, and there's something here that needs to be pulled in. So, and there's only two things here, so we should be an easy fix, okay? Maybe not so much, but anyway, letting go. What do we get on top of that? We get the Hangman. Yeah, and again, the Ankh is there in the foot, in the infinity. Just give me a minute. That is, oh no, okay. A lot of symbolism here. Too much for my knowledge, but again, that is, isn't it? That is a snake. I never noticed that before. Okay, there's a snake coiled here and the snake coiled at his head. Again, different perspective, needing to look at things differently. We are not quite there. There's a transformation here going to happen so that we see things clearly. It is not yet here. We are in flux this week for the Aquarians to look at things differently. An action needs to be taken. We're not quite on target, is what they said. So this is the universal energies are coming to hit us up in the way of illuminating where we need to act from. Just unaware of knowing we need to act and whatnot. Though again, in where we need to be. Okay, so on top of the High Priestess of Air, which is your element, we have the Sun. Again, highly aspected that we are here. There's an illumination that's happening. Everything's in flux. A decision needs to be made. Everything's where it should be, just the decision hasn't been made yet. We're coming down to the wire for everybody. It's not just the Aquarians here. The Aquarians are a little more futuristic, so it's going to hit them a little more with, I don't know if it's anxiety, but a sense of needing to move a little higher than most will feel, because the instinct is high here, and usually Aquarians will run with this. They will run with that instinct and not really realizing it until, you know, for a long time for some, depending how spiritually evolved you are. But they do, Aquarius above all, tend to just go naturally in that direction. Where the wind carries us, yes. Be bold and move, the Two of Wands. So as we go one more deeper here, we're going to get into the romance cards. Basically, there's a direction that needs to be taken, a different perspective that needs to be taken on in order to not make a mistake here. But the sun is shining on the process. So far, we are falling into the right areas to make the right decisions. Just has to be illuminated. The whole process has to kind of float through. So as we get into love and romance area, we have Strength card. Someone, either you or someone outside of you, is trying to pull you off your strength, or you are trying to pull them off their strength. Trying to get someone to move off of their decision. Could go either way, really. See kind of a 50-50 split here. So, and that is in a love-related kind of way. We have a masculine here trying to pull a woman in her strength off. This will not happen. She cannot be moved. So the next card, Four of Swords. That's about doing the dance here. we may have an energy of kind of spinning in circles. Romantically means kind of like nothing's going on. We're not too enthused. We're not even looking the partner in the eyes. We're dancing and spinning. So the sense here is that we may be in the mundane in a relationship, or we may be out of a relationship and be in the mundane and not much is going on, new and exciting. And again, making me aware of those swords. The Two of Swords is a stalemate and an inability to make a decision. This is highly being pushed here through the reading. There's a decision here that needs to be made, and it may be in a romantic kind of way, but there's an inability here. I feel like the universe kind of put blinders on this person until the last minute, and then, you know, like they're in control of that. They can't let you in on this too soon, and that's just the way that it is. Okay, the next card is the King of Swords. That is air element, your element as well. This guy's he's pissed off. His tip of his sword has been broken. He's been through battle here. He's had to put up with some stuff. So, I think my mic is a little off. Is that the mic? Yeah, it is. Okay. Sorry. I had to test. Sometimes that mic doesn't go on. Okay. There's a man here who's unimpressed with this situation. I feel like the situation can go one of 2 or 3 ways here. He is either trying to pull a woman, and again, who you are, the character you are, you will know who you are in this story. I feel like this guy here is him, and he couldn't move her, so now he's pissed off, and there's some kind of mundaneness in the middle. Couldn't get his way, is what they said, with her. Tried and try as he will, huff and puff, but it didn't blow down. Didn't change anything. So there's somebody like this in this scenario here at some point. So we're going to move forward. On top of that Strength card, where we're trying to be pulled, either being pulled by someone trying to get us off our opinion or our stance here, or we are doing this to someone else. We have the Eight of Wands again. Now, that's interesting because we had the Eight of Wands earlier. Here, I'll show you. This is this card in this deck. So there is some energy coming in fast. Now in this deck, this woman is crouched down, waiting. Almost like these wands are going to come at her. It speaks of quickness, swiftness, and ready to leap is what they said. Be ready to leap. And that's kind of like the unveiling. I feel like the universe just not letting the Aquarian in till the last minute, where they know they got to pounce, because they're very instinctive. They will make the right decision. If we give them too much time, they're going to overthink it and make the wrong decision. I feel like the universe is saving them from themselves here, from this this energy. I'm half Aquarian, I can relate. 4. So this is the mundane energy they're feeling in, kind of stagnation. The hang time, very much so. That's also very much in the romance area, would be kind of hang time. But within a partnership, not much going on. On top of that energy, we get the Nine of Swords. So that bumps things up, man, to stress and anxiety. And I was picking up on anxiety, but I wanted to diminish that energy. But there it is, being amplified. So we have stuff coming in. It may be communication. It may be actions that we are taking that are going very swiftly, keeping us busy in the moment. The Nine of Swords is about the stress and anxiety when we, in the evenings, we may be feeling about certain situations. May have to do with a romantic partnership, may not. It may have to do with the fact we are not in a romantic partnership, or a close one at that. Now, on top of this guy here, it's ticked off. What's going on with him? We get the Page of Cups. So that's very interesting, because it's like he wants to offer his love outward. So if he's offering love, what happened here? Why, you know, if he's offering love, why does he have to pull her away? I don't understand. There's something missing here. Because this is a soft, greeting, welcoming energy. This is harsh, pissed off, and like, get out of my face energy. So I don't understand how we can jump so quickly to that. But anyway, something in the middle here we're going to get illuminated to. Again, 18 plus here with these readings. 8 of Wands, so that's about quick action, things going on, a lot going on all at once. This could be the thing here. We may have someone who is doing a lot of things and is distracted. I'm not sure. Okay, on top of this, we get, there's that Swords dude. He just is in every card deck, he's being illuminated. Okay, so he's here in the romance deck. That's the Swords dude. Now in the sex deck, here he is again. New beginnings. This guy is about dominance. So this may be why he's feeling the way that he's feeling. Can't seem to dominate this one. Okay, Aquarians. There's energy coming at her from this guy, trying to take her off some kind of point of view that she's got in regards to him, obviously. Now, she's very submissive here, though she doesn't look too happy, and then we got onlookers. So what's going on? 9 of Swords, the stress and anxiety. There is a stressful, anxiety-ridden situation here for someone, whether it's the Aquarian or the partner of the Aquarian. I feel like it might be more attached to this dude. I feel like the Aquarian is just kind of not in a stressful mode. Okay, but we'll carry on. On top of the 9 of Swords, to clarify from the sex deck, we get the 7 of Wands. Now the 7 of Wands, I always, because there's that little salamander or whatever, that little lizard, right? It's creepy. So I always attach the card to be, this is the creepy love card. We have someone hitting on us that we may not be enthused about. Now, this is where I have a feeling things are going to separate. We may have someone in our lives here that is coming at us in a sexual way that feels kind of creepy. It feels unnatural, is what they said. Okay, and then there's someone here that is very dominant in the bedroom. So this is interesting. Okay, Page of Cups again is a very soft, inviting energy, and then this guy is very harsh and hard-edged and whatnot. So on top of the Page of Cups, we get the Chariot. This is interesting. This would explain it. Okay. Holy. Okay, so again, we got someone with harsh energy here. He's got a sharp edge to him, and he's been through battle. He's got rough edges he's got to smooth out. This guy's pissed off. Maybe we had a refusal from an Aquarius, okay, or masculine, feminine, whatever. You can flip it, whatever fits. But this guy's had a rejection, I think, from the Aquarian, this person. And they are pissed off because of this. We may have had someone who was a soft touch in the bedroom, can't handle the dominance, too much, overpowering. Okay? Now, this is the epitome of we're going in different directions here in the bedroom. Because this guy's got a flogger, he wants to go hard. This one here, she's the soft with the little birdie in the cup. It's not a good match. They're going in different directions. So what it is I feel this is the man's opinion of what he wants in the bedroom from this woman, from this Aquarian. That's the strength. She's going, I may not be hard-edged like this. And that's what he's trying to pull her off of. Okay, just bear with me here. The 7 of Wands, I feel, is her energy feeling a little bit creeped out by this. Not completely comfortable. So either we're trying to do this in a sneaky way and not up front, so it's coming off wrong, or we truly don't mesh with this energy. And the sense here is, we have one person here wanting it light, and we want one person here wanting to dominate hard. So there's a two ways of being here, and something's got to give. Okay, so I'm getting this highly as a point here. They're going, look back. Okay, yeah, I need to look at things different. Two ways of being. The sun shines here if we evolve. There's a transformation that needs to happen and a walling up. So it's really clear to me that somebody here is just, there's a hard edge that is not allowing to be softened any, and this may create problems down the road. Okay, so Knight of Wands on top of that, what do we get? The 12. This is a good sign because this is the dominating factor, right? This is what this man is trying to get her off of, trying to get her off of her soft side. He's trying to get her into the domination, submissive way. We may not be feeling this naturally, but when we have the owls here, there's a sense that we need to discuss in a smart way, not in a smart, like tricky way, but in a smart, open way, honest and true. We need to discuss with our partner how we can mediate this, right? And it just may be simply that stuff is coming off wrong because there's just no warning. Sometimes if we don't get a warning and there's too much dominance, it comes off wrong. And we just need to be illuminated to that fact and go, oh, okay, well, this is what you want. Okay, well, what? Let's talk about parameters here, da da da, right? So that we can get on the same page. And I feel like the masculine here might have been kind of forcing things, literally too much, without consent. So 7 of Wands, that's about the behavior. I feel a woman is kind of feeling creeped out. This has gone too far, and you know, we had no discussion of this. There's no warning, and I'm not prepared. So on top of that, yeah, we get the dice, which is about risk and chance and taking gambles. And the sense that they're giving me here is that because we did not discuss it, that it was a gamble that we took, that this partner would warm up to this. But I get a sense here that we need to be more, we need to talk more about this. Can't just spring it on me and not whatever, okay? Because there's a sense I need to be prepared. I'm getting from the feminine. I need to be prepared for this energy coming in. You can't just sneak up on me and do this. Not prepared, okay? So the Chariot is speaking about the separation here, highly. Two people in the bedroom going in two different directions. What do we have to clarify there? There's a man in waiting. Okay. Actually, this is pretty, actually this isn't bad, because this just says, you know what, I'm gonna wait until, because the sense that I'm getting is the feminine can get a groove here, but she can't be pushed by the masculine. She can't be forced. Oops. Yeah, well, by him, but she can't be forced off her pedestal here. I feel like the man is just trying to slip it under, slip it in front of her without talking and discussing it first. And the sense here is that, yeah, I could do this, but we need to talk about it, because there's parameters here, things that creep me out, and I don't want to go there. I want to go here and here, and there's needs to be a back and forth. And I feel like the masculine here has decided to pull back and wait, because he just doesn't know. He kind of took a risk going as far as he did, and he knew he knew what he was dealing with to a certain extent, but he may be angry at himself for pushing it to a degree that he wasn't more sensible about it. Oh, but they're going, he couldn't help himself. So I don't know how far that goes, but anyway, couldn't help himself, I guess. He just went there, and now he's kind of pulling back a little bit and going, okay, I see that, because he is pausing there, and he is holding, because they're making me look at his fingers on her back being very gentle. So he wants to please her. He wants what he wants, but he doesn't know how to bridge that gap. Okay, so again, here's that guy waiting. So he's going to wait, and that's the passive man. So he's going to be passive with he's going to be passive with all this energy, and he's going to wait and hold off. Because the sense I'm getting is that, one, this woman needs to be informed. Two, this woman needs to discuss things beforehand. And three, there are boundaries there for her. And he may sense that there was something there that, he sensed that there was a hard edge to her, but he may have took it too far, and he may not have been completely in control. This is what I'm getting, okay? So again, when we have those owls, that means there's wise communication and a possibility of such. And they're going, yes, there's high possibility we could do and gain. Okay, yeah, they want me to show this card. Far greater strengths in this direction of pulling a person off if we're fully informed. Not if we're tricked, if we're fully informed. It will backfire. That's the risk. If we're tricked, it will backfire. It's a huge gamble. But again, they pulled back just in time. They may gain success here if they open the communication back up and be honest and truthful and wise with what they're doing. I think the whole key here is honesty and not trying to pull wool here. Not trying to trick them into. It's just trying to be open and honest. An open dialogue about this and we might gain more progress. We will. So on top of the 12, again, the wise words and good feelings. I get good feelings here that we kind of both want what we want, but I can't be shocked into things, the female, right? The 8 of Wands, that's about travel and speed and movement. Now, this could be traveling away, and this may be why this man is pissed off. Now, just give me a minute here, suss it out, because this is about quick movement forward. Next, on the gamble, the risk that this man took by really just coming at her in the physical way that he did was a little too much, a little too imposing. It was creepy for the person, for the woman, and that was a gamble he took, I guess, a risk he took. The sense, I don't know where, I'm getting a light sense this guy kind of couldn't help himself, but at the same time, where's the line there? Okay. Now, on top of that, we get the 12 of Swords, which is, yeah, and look at him facing the travel. So I think we might have done this to someone, had an intimate encounter that kind of went a little edgy for one person, and it scared them, and they either took off or physically left them, or they're not engaging in sex anymore. They took off from the sex behavior. And the sense here is that this 12, which is the Knight of Swords, he's trying to figure out why. I mean, he knows why, but he wants to know exactly why. What, and again, we have those wise birds there. So there's a sense here, if we do communicate, that we can get underneath it. Now, on the waiting man, so we may have had someone just literally leave this scenario, and the man is waiting patiently for the person to come back or whatnot. Now, on top of that, we get the 5 of Swords, and that is the card of not being able to hold back. Because this card, in this card, there's always this goofy story behind these cards. The Casanova, right? That's him there, right there. This woman, he's actually related to her, and he couldn't help himself. He was so overwhelmed with attraction that he couldn't help himself, so he ended up crossing a line, right? And that's exactly what's going on here. We crossed a line with a partner, and now we're kind of trying to wait and see what happens here with it, okay? So on the 8 of Swords, and again, that could be someone physically leaving the scenario because of what happened here. Man, this card's making the rounds. Codependence, charging station. So We had that woman on her strength. She got pulled off her strength and then took off. Codependence means she'll be back. Means that we have a dependence on this person. We get something from this person. And they get something from us. So be aware of that. Now, the 12 is also an energy of being on guard, ready to fight whatever comes at them. And they are waiting for that person to come back because they're ready to fight that war. And I feel like the war is, you know, this thing here of getting her off her pedestal. But what is her stance here? I don't know, but the codependence kind of throws a monkey wrench because it just, we could be going back to things that are really not good for us. So on top of the 12, and that's where the man is sitting here. Again, all the air, communication, lots of communication going back and forth. But nothing, I feel no fire. So on the guy that's ready for anything coming at him, we have self-worth card come up there. Okay, self-worth. Codependence usually is a symptom of lack of self-worth. We depend on someone else more. If we don't depend on ourselves enough, we can get caught up in codependent situations. And the sense here is somebody has to work on their self-worth in order to gain what they need. Now it's coming on that that Knight of Swords. So is this the person that has to gain the self-worth? Is this the person that's codependent on this other person? There's a sense here. Well, we'll keep going. This is the last card before the animal. Now again, this sense of this man being overwhelmed with passion, not being able to hold back. We get power. Ooh. Somewhere he gained power. This is good. So there is a sense of good feelings here overall. Like we may have been kind of cantankerous and pissed off at ourselves for crossing a line here we shouldn't have crossed. We should have had the strength, but we didn't. This card here is saying we really physically didn't. We were so impassioned, we could not hold back. Okay, so oops, that happened. Okay, now next we have, this is the soft Page of Cups energy, the very inviting, This is the energy that we were so attracted to that we got pulled in. Okay, then again, the realization that we're going in different ways here, but the man bowing to the woman, although she's got some red marks on her. Okay, we've been through this, and the sense, there's a very fine line here. I do feel like this man was using his instinct. He instinctively felt this from her. She was giving off signals, but it came as such a shock to her that it might have been a traumatic situation. So she didn't know she would react that way. He didn't know she would react that way. And it's just one of those things they're going to have to talk their way out of. They're going to have to deal with this and work their way out of it. Now again, he's become passive now. He's dealt with his anger, is the sense I'm getting. Why? Because we have the power at the end. And that means I am empowered. I have figured it out, and I'm going to go forward in what I truly feel and make decisions based on that. Now, we may have been in the past codependent, or we may have a partner here that is somewhat still codependent on this energy that we need to clear up. But somebody here has gained power. They have transformed, right? Because we want to keep that energy. Where did it go? Well, it's a letting go energy. Isn't that interesting as we go back to the beginning of the reading? It's a metamorphosis, a change. I feel like it's this man has changed. The woman may need to let go of some things, may need to let go of that certain instant so they can move past it, okay? Ooh. Okay, and then where were we? Yeah, the whole energy of the I can't resist. Even though, like, I mean, I don't think this is this guy's sister, but this is the scenario they tell. It's like, I know I'm not supposed to go there, but I went there. And that's the thing is, right? This is the line he crossed. But now he's gained power over that. Maybe worked on some self-worth issues. and had to deal with some codependence here. And now he's going to be chasing after whatever, male, female, whatever the scenario is here. Very interesting thing here. I feel like the man's stepping aside to wait, but also there's an energy of moving toward that person to come clean to a certain degree, or these owls really kind of bump up the reading quite a bit, because that's about wisdom, coming from our wisdom, inner power, inner strength, intuition in a good, wise way. So that really, and the communication, they want to communicate towards that partner to clear things up is really what it is. And in order to gain any strength here, this woman in this scenario is going to have to really let go of that scenario in order to move forward. So that is what I'm getting. That's the Aquarius reading. Okay, the animal card that we have, it's kind of a general overall view. I'm big into animals, so I'm letting them rule the show today. It's the Paragon Falcon, and it's about observation. Oh, isn't that interesting? Now if you look, we're talking about power here. Somebody gained their power, somebody put themselves first, so they are no longer codependent. And look at the card. Look at, it's connecting with that higher power, right? The falcon always flies high, so it's not going to focus. I gotta get my face there. Connecting with that light energy. Somebody here is connected and figured out where they want to go and how they want to deal. And also a lot of bird, a lot of air. Everything is just so in sync here. The air element, we are an air sign, Aquarius, and we're working quite highly on connecting with light energies, and if nothing else, gaining our instinct and our personal power in order to get exactly what we want. And I feel like somebody's edging out a codependent way that they used to be in a relationship. They're edging that out. Yeah. So in whatever way that suits. Okay, next. So that was the Aquarius reading for the week. Again, whatever energy hits you. So now we are on with Gemini. 42, 34. Okay, first card for Gemini. Judgment 20. That is that instinct. The universal energies blowing their horn, going, listen here, people. Feel like they're not getting heard. The universe is not getting heard in these Geminis for some reason. Next card, 10 of Wands. That's about burdens that we bear. Why are we not hearing the universal call, the instinct that's coming down? Because we are overburdened with things, jobs, chores. We got a lot of stuff on our mind, our plate, our platter. There's a lot going on here. Too much stuff up in the air is what they said. Next card, the Ace of Cups. Yeah, again, it's all about the love this week. Woo. Heavy duty. They're very much in sync with the love. We're going to straighten this out one way or another, is what they just said. This Gemini has and always should be putting love first above all. We are realizing the worth here in that we do have a lot of burdens on our shoulders, but there is no one else that can deal with that, meaning diminish that, other than ourselves. Will not be taken from you, these burdens. We have to delegate and get rid of them ourselves. If someone's taken on too much here, and ain't nobody going to take that list and make it shorter but you, is what they're saying. And that's really, I think, the universal message here. You got to get these 10s down to a more manageable. And they're going, we love the kudos we get when we deal with other people's problems. That bumps us right through the roof. But if we cannot start to do this, we're not going to have our health to do anything. So, number one, we have to make love and the process of love the number one priority. And we have to let go of anything else that doesn't really line up with that. Whew, very stern. Okay. On the Judgment, again, that's that instinct coming forth to the Gemini. The universal energy is trying to connect to you. It's just not being heard. On top of that, we have movement. We have a horse here. Sorry, the glare. He's kind of just getting going. Just moving forward. Yeah, the universe is asking you to move. They're asking you to take action here. Dignity, in our dignity, take action and movement forward. Okay. 9 and 2 is 11. They want me to mention that. This may be what you're seeing a lot of lately. 10 of Wands, right? The burdens, all of those things. Again, it is very much, it's interesting that it's yellow because it's joy and self-esteem is tied highly for this person, for this Gemini. They get feedback greatly for it. It makes it worth taking on all this stuff. Universe is going, no, it's time to give it up. It's time to relax a little bit here. We need to let more go because we're draining our reserves. We cannot do this and find love at the same time, or gain headway in love at the same time. This is not going to happen, so we have to drop some of these burdens. So on top of that, we get complicated, right? Again, they're talking about the 11. It ain't that simple, but it can be if we do this. That's what they said. It will simplify things real quick when we take action from this. Not just thinking. Again, all of these air signs are thinking, overthinking things, and there's a sense here that even though we know what we can do, we just deal with the consequences, because they're going to be a lot more harsher if we continue in this energy of taking on everybody else's stuff when it truly doesn't belong to us, is what they're saying. We got enough on our own. We got to just focus on the love and then go outward from there until we feel comfortable. But we have no downtime. We have no relaxed time, is what they're saying, and we need to fit this in, and this is what we're sacrificing, and this is what's going to take us down. We need to get that. It's going to take us down with anger and bitterness and resentment, or it's going to take us down in a physical way. So the Ace of Cups, again, needing to put love above all else. Put that at the forefront. Wow, we get the High Priestess of Spirit. There's a lot of stuff coming here. Just give me a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read that one from the book. High Priestess of Spirit. I'll let you look at that while I look at this. I haven't come across this card yet. Number 7. 7/11. July 11th may be significant. I don't know. Significant for me. But anyway. High Priestess of Spirit. Here I go. I haven't come across this. Really what I'm getting instinctively through this, there's a lot of faces in here, if you notice. Hidden in the, if you can, there's faces up in there, right? So I don't know if that's like we're being different people to different people, right? If that's kind of a fragmenting of the personality, we got to rein that in. I don't know if that's what's going on here. I'm going to read and then I'm going to go from here. Okay. So it says, I am Nyx, goddess of night, and you have chosen this symbol to help guide you on this journey to find an answer to your question. Consider that there is an invisible spirit within all living things. Now that all things, events, and experiences are woven together like magical web that can be seen only in the darkest of night and not by humans, my child, everything that you need to know is part of the divine scheme of things. A meaningful coincidence, a blessed friendship, a lover, a significant experience are all orchestrated by me to help you become the powerful being you're meant to become. No matter what is in front of you, something important is brewing. You will know the answer to what soon enough, but I keep secret the why. You may step forward knowing that some things are meant to remain a mystery. So though, yeah, those things that we're asking, why, what, you know, what is going, we're not meant to know at this time. Again, I feel it is due to the how do you say, precognitive? I don't know if that's the right word. Pre-planning. The Gemini will pre-plan everything to oblivion, and they cannot do this. That, you know what, they're going through all the aquas, not all the aquas, all the air signs. With this energy, we cannot inform these little thinkers, because they're going to think their way into a wrong path. And I feel like that's really what it is we're not given these answers because it can change our fate where it's not meant to go, not for our highest good anyway. And the High Priestess of Spirit, what I said there, and now too, what I'm getting is a lot of that. It's amazing to me they never once mentioned the masks in the thing, and I find that's highly pliable here, applicable here, because the sense they're giving me is that we may have, like I said, masks that we wear to each individual person, and we gotta narrow that down. We gotta be one mask. We gotta be unified in the way that we move forward towards people. And that is the complication. We have different people that expect different things from us, and we need to be ourselves around everybody, more of ourselves, altruistic, and on levels here beyond. So the sense I'm getting, this is deeper for the Geminis, really deep thoughts I'm getting, is that we really have to unite into one. And the Geminis are the ones that split, right? They can split quite quickly in character because they are malleable. They can change, they can mutate, and as comfortable as this is, we really have to unify into one force outward and go forward in that. We are being fragmented in too many sections, and this is the energy here. The 10 of Wands is 10 fragments here. We need it down to one at least to get clarity over what it is what it is we truly want. One, in a love direction. We need to do this so that we can be that whole person for that partner. We see it as complicated because we are fragmented in this way. Okay, going there. Again, there's always something that comes. How do I open this? Geminis, Pisces. These are one of the two signs that fragment quite easily and naturally. There's situations where we could have people in disassociation. Gemini and Pisces are high, have a high affinity to this type of behavior to deal with traumatic events, whatnot. There's certain elements that blend well with this. It serves them good. And there's certain ones that are resistant to this. The Gemini is not one of them. They blend well with this. So the sense here is we have to rein in because we are too fragmented at this time. And there may be some traumatic events in our past that we are trying to escape from. But we need to be as grounded as we can in this element in order to do so. So I may have some people here that I'm speaking to that are dissociates. And they will know who they are. It will just resonate, and I feel like this speaks to that, a blending of this in more ways and more situations. So spiritually, we want to stay as grounded as we can in the energy of staying in our strength, on feet on the ground strength, grounded energy. Because we are quite fragmented. This Gemini may again be trying to get away from things that the mind is creating. So I feel like that is the complication here. 11-11, we've got two 11s. We got a 9 and a 2, and we got an 11, and that also feeds to that energy of multiple things going on here. So again, if you resonate this, you'll know who you are. Just making aware of that sense that I've got there. So the High Priestess of Spirit, There are certain things we cannot know because we are so fragmented. We cannot retain this information. It is complicated, but have faith in grounded movement forward, and we will gain headway one step at a time. That's the way we go. Okay, 9 and 2 is 11, and that's talking about the grounded movement. They want you to take action here in certain kinds of ways. Instead of staying stagnant and fragmenting, we want to stay grounded and move forward in action. We have the Devil card. Give me a moment here. This may be part of the fragmentation here. Again, I'm not going to go into detail here. Those that resonate with this will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, this subject really is going to be more rampant as time goes on. But nonetheless, needing to take grounded action forward. Why? Because the devil is keeping us locked in a cycle here that is not, it is locking us down. Okay? I feel like that has nothing to do with the dissociation as much as it has to do with our inability to take action from it. We're kind of staying in one place, letting it happen. So we got to create more grounded movement in our universe. I feel like this person is maybe isolating themselves, and I mean, this is hard not to do at this time. I understand what I'm saying here. I do energetically, but we really can move about in our physical world more than we have been. We're kind of using this lockdown as an excuse to lock down one more step, and this is not good for the mental health here scenario, because there's just splitting going on. So that needs to be taken into control, and they're telling me being out in nature, and we don't have to gather with hordes of people, but being out in nature, being grounded in our reality, this helps. A lot of TV watching, a lot of isolating on the computer, a lot of not communicating with others creates more havoc here. This is something I'm learning as we speak. Creates more of these divisions within us. So we need to connect with our surroundings more. Interesting, okay. Because we're really talking about split personality, dissociative disorders here. Somebody with this to a high degree is making it worse by not getting out in their environment. The devil's made me do it. I'm kind of relaxing into that energy, and it is creating havoc of the mind, and we got to ground out more and make more of an effort, because it really will create things here just flip. We can't stay stable. So be aware of that. Masculine or feminine, I'm getting a neutral here, like I can't tell the difference. Meaning it could be both. So the devil energy is on top of that energy of needing to move. The devil's going to try and keep you in one place so they can control, the mind can go downhill, right? And I'm saying the devil, it's not an actual thing. It's just a propensity to be lazy with our mental health, and we don't want to do this because it will really crash and burn. We want to take activity and be in our physical environment as much as we can, and embrace our physical environment. Literally hug a tree, touch, feel sensory things. This is what they're guiding me to. Okay, so on the 11, again, it's complicated. There's more here than meets the eye, no kidding. This card's got a lot of energy here, but it's also something that we can live with. We just need to be illuminated to it in the right ways. So someone here may not have got a diagnosis. May not have got a diagnosis of this yet. I'm sorry, I'm crying. But they're struggling to see why they can't get where they need to go. This is why. So talk to your doctor. I am not a doctor. I am just sensing energies that are highly fragmented as one body. Many places it's going. This is a problem. Now the 11, complicated. This is the complication. We are not aware of this to a high degree, yet we are, because we're being frustrated, but unaware of where the root is here to get to the bottom. Sorry guys. Strong lead, Knight of Wands, fire sign. So there's somewhere here, there's fire coming in to take action in some kind of way. We are not fire, that is not our element. So if we are taking on this energy, we are going to be fired up in many ways that we are going to go outward. Now this is the intent. The universe wants you to do this. Look, two horses coming at each other. So it may be that we get so worked instinctively that we actually do take action and take on, because where's he going? He's fired up to work with the devil. We're gonna fight this mentally, right? I'm getting a, I'm not gonna edit. I'm getting a mental fight here, trying to break free. We cannot break free, we can only manage what we have here. So there it is. Now, sorry, on the High Priestess of Spirit, this is the kind of the exposure of this energy. You know, it's interesting because this person is not frustrated, but I am seeing through spirit how they can't escape themselves. This is deep. Okay, I think I have to remove myself a little bit here. High Priestess of Spirit. That is spirit trying to coach you to overcome this. Isolation. Some people, mentally it is not good to do this. We know this, right? That is the first signs the devil is taken over. We isolate ourselves from our friends, family, all of it. This is the fight that they're trying to fight here. We got to get out. We got to do things. We literally be in touch with the ground. Even if you go outside of your building, apartment, wherever you live, and you just touch a tree and you just sit there and read a book and go back inside, that is enough for that day. And it may be all that this person can do. Okay? Now on top of that spirit energy, we get the Fool. And that is about new ways, new directions. Now this guy's all full of muscle. This woman's got her head down, This guy's all full of fight and energy. There's a new direction that is waiting to open up for you. Mental health or no? The sense here is we have a mental prison that we are locked in, but we are in charge of that, meaning we may not get rid of this disorder, but we can get rid of the isolation. We can force ourselves into public, maybe not public as much as nature, to ground. I feel like the one thing they want you to do is to ground out, because this person is really living in a fantasy world that is just splitting their mind into bits because they can't deal with reality. Okay, so if this is the scenario, we need to grab our reality, because it's almost like we're spinning, and if we don't reach out to grab that reality, we just keep spinning and we just don't make any progress mentally. So what I'm picking up on is really heavy stuff. I feel a resistance to go into the sex side, but I'm going to go there. So that is the Gemini here. We have a dissociative, multiple energy going on that I feel like action is going to be taken now, whether it's from the Gemini themselves to deal with this or someone outside of them to illuminate that for them. I'm not too sure how aware they are of this. They know there's a problem, but how deep that goes, I'm not too sure. But there is energy here to heal this in some kind of way. And by heal, I don't mean get rid of. I mean being functional. Because right now we're not functional and we're kind of following the trail of the devil. We just don't know it. It's because we are blind to it. Okay, so I'm going to drop that now. Going to this sex side, see, again, this could relate to one person on the spiritual side and then someone else on the sex side, or could relate to both. It just whatever. Again, it may not resonate with everybody. First card, the Ace of Wands. That is fire energy. That is also about the act itself. Getting physical, being in a partnership. Next card, Larry, is again that Knight of Wands. That is a character coming in here. Maybe a loving partnership that we have. Maybe this. Next card is the King of Wands. Look at this now. It's a very emotional reading. And I want to edit, but it's like, no, I'm not gonna. I can't repackage this information. I just can't. If you look, right, okay, keep in mind what I just went over. You look here, there's a couple in an embrace. Physical embrace. I feel like this is kind of like a savior. Trying to come in, trying to be that dude, right? The White Knight, all of it. He's trying to do that. He's trying to save a relationship here. And on some level, he's gone from charging in and leaving to charging in and taking a stand. Okay? In this... I'm so sorry, but it just... There's nothing I can do about the faucet here. I can't turn it off. And he's learned through this relationship something. Okay? Man. So we got the Knight of Wands. He's evolved to a king through this relationship. I feel we're on the same track. I feel like this is that energy. Shit. There he is again, the King of Wands. Taking a stand. Because here he's very passive. He's grown, but he's physically passive. Here, he's physically standing up front and saying that is, I am taking charge here. I am the king. And it's almost, I hate to say this because I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. But it feels like there's a man coming in here to save. A woman who is mentally falling through the cracks. There is something here he has seen in this woman that he feels is worthy. He feels he can understand. He feels he can deal with. They're showing me that burden card on this man. To a certain degree, he was feeling burdened by this relationship with this woman. I'll just hang on here. He may have been a Capricorn. Okay? Because that is also the symbol of the Capricorn. Right? The goat horns. And they're showing me all the people in there. Is like... This man understands the mental capacity this woman carries. Or whatever scenario you're in. Man, man, woman, woman. There's someone here in a masculine energy. Understands the fight that this person is going through. They feel that they can save them in the ways of keeping them grounded. Again, I'm not saying you're going to be healed. But they're prepared. They feel prepared to support this person. Man, this is heavy shit. Okay, so there he is, the King of Wands, man. He is just, he's full on all over this reading, all over this Gemini, this person that they have chosen. They're all over it. Now on the Knight of Wands energy, and I feel like at a certain point this man rushed in and he felt like he was going to rush back out again. And he may have done this. But as he rushed out, he decided that, or he evolved in some way to the king. And even though he was being passive, he has now decided to become aggressively, to take a stand aggressively here in some kind of way, okay? Now we'll see where this ends up. Now, on top of that night energy of him rushing in, we have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups about happy tidings, celebrations with people that we care about and love. Next card, the Ace of Cups. Would you look at that? I feel like this is now flipping over to the Knight of Wands reading and how he's going to affect this Gemini. This is crazy. I've never had... yeah, or it may be one of those twin things, right? I've never had an energy be so alike, and it was like, yeah, maybe it's a twinning. And maybe there was some evolution here that needed to happen in the way of the... Because that's why it's hard to find out who's who here. We have a Gemini in flux. I don't want to call it a personality disorder because it's not. But there's a situation here of the mind fragmenting and a man who is running headlong into this because they are offering their love cup and it is rightful. And they feel they are more than prepared to deal. And again, this energy of all of these people in here, I feel like that's one soul with all the personalities breaking down. I feel like that is the Capricorn saying, I see everything. I see it so clearly. I can help this person. I know what to do. I know how. Not a lot of people would take that on. Okay. Next. Man, this is a hard... I feel like Oprah, man. I feel like Oprah. Okay. King of Wands. On top of that energy is the Two of Wands. This is about getting to know someone on an intimate level. Introductions on a physical plane here, right? We want to be canoodling, get to know what this person likes, dislikes, all of it in a sensory kind of way. Okay, this is a very different reading. These people look at each other very differently. They're very unique individuals, these two. The feminine perceives the world differently. No one else will perceive the world this way. This man somehow knows and perceives that secondhand. And it may be simply because they are twin souls. The next card, Three Cups, sorry. This is really deep. Holy. Celebrations of people who are happy. You're supposed to give me strength here. That we're happy to be with. Jeez. King of Wands. Oh my god. This guy ain't going nowhere. This guy was built for this woman. This woman doesn't understand that this man is equipped, but he's coming. Look at him embrace. This is the grooviest card of the deck here on the sexual way. This guy wants to get to know everything about her. Every little detail. Why? So he can embrace her with compassion, because he truly does understand her in no way anybody else on earth could. Right? Like a love story I've never seen here. Ace of Cups. This is the full. It is full. They're telling me it's full. Overflowing, yeah. If you look at that cup, it is overflowing, right? This man and the peace dove on top, it's overflowing and ready to go to that second person. And there's a woman there waiting. at the bottom to be overrun with that. There's a sense here, there's a man just waiting. Well, that's the man. It's obviously the King of Wands. I've never been in a reading where I've had 5 King of Wands come out. Even as many cards as I pull, I've never had that. I'll count them up at the end, but this is flippin' ridiculous. Like, there's never have I had the King of Wands. The only ones that haven't come out are the pages. But there's a sense here that we've evolved through that. So they're giving me the knights and the kings. And this is the king in the sex area. So he knows how she needs to be treated in a sensual way. He knows how she needs to be treated in a spiritual, in a romantic, everything. He's got the keys. To drive it home, he does. Nobody else on earth could understand her. This is a twin soul. Absolutely. So on the Ace of Cups, well, we have one oddball here. The Knight of Cups. Now, the Knave. So there's a sense of frustration here. The passiveness. This is the passive Knight of Wands. So at some point here we may have relaxed a bit here on our love. I don't know what's going on here, but this is usually a card of jealousy. There may be someone here holding jealousy. Even with all of that, I don't know. This card doesn't really fit the reading, but we'll continue. The Two of Wands, about wanting to evolve, know more about this partner, evolve through that. We get 38. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the bridge, and that's about overcoming obstacles. Not a problem, I know, because he understands her intuitively. So any obstacle that comes, we just really internally understand it ourselves. Yeah. Getting a sense here, they say it just like he feels things before she does, so he knows exactly where to go and how to deal with it, because it's almost like it hits him first, or it reflects on him to a degree. He knows King of Wands, this is about the ultimate in compassion from a man, a male figure. This woman may be mentally how do you say, bound, okay, by this disorder. And this man is just embracing her with unconditional love. And what do you know? That's highly aspected. Universally, the sun is shining on this. We have a lot of energy for this. Compassion, right? When you give compassion to these areas where you feel from your heart, this man is not faking it. He does not fake it. He's full of fire, he's full of passion, and he don't go where he don't want to go. And that is going to be highly rewarded universally. Now, on top of this Knight of Cups, which really doesn't fit, or Page of Cups, which really doesn't fit, we have 20 the Garden. Now, okay, let's go back a bit here. Because this whole train started with a passive energy. Even though he's the king, he's kind of sitting there not taking action is really what I get. Even though the Wands is about taking action, going after what you want, I feel like it's more of getting a vision of what you want, and he's kind of passive on the action. So maybe the Ace of Cups here, he has been full of love, just not taking action. And somehow, some way, this has caused some jealousy to come out. Not sure. Now the Garden, this is about publicity, things that are in public, things that are talked about in public, viewed in public, seen, something to do with public here. Sorry, I'm just gonna clean myself up, guys. Sorry, I can't control the taps. Okay. Two Wands getting to know each other. 38 is about overcoming obstacles. So there's a sense here that some obstacles have been overcome. Now we're getting into the heavy duty sex cards again, 18 plus. Now we get 8. Okay, here we go. Now we get why is the jealousy? The 8 of Cups. Here's the card. Okay, so there's a story behind every card here. This is Casanova, this woman here. This man and Casanova are best buddies. This man wanted to befriend this woman or date her or court her or whatever you call it back in the day. He told Casanova this. And what do you know? Casanova got in here before he had a chance to get in here. So this type of scenario or something like it, I feel, is what has got this guy all up in an uproar. Now, is he the guy that's got all the compassion, or is he the guy, there's a guy off in left field here. There's something to do with a lot of people being in on this or knowing or public, something to do with that. I'll just keep going here. On top of the Sun card again, which is highly aspected. Why? Because this man is using his compassion to deal with this woman and try and help her and heal her. I feel a strong connection here, so what's the deal? Okay, they're explaining to me what's going on. This guy is this guy. Now, Casanova is this guy. Okay, Casanova is coming in here. Even though that's a devious task. Now, I hope this doesn't flip before the end of the reading, but my infinity cards will figure it out. Somebody here got in just in time before another lover come. But the sense I'm getting is if whatever got to her physically, there is unbridled passion, there is unbridled connection, and there's so much instinct and compassion, it's not even funny. So it's like, I don't know that this man, because what did I just say? Nobody else on earth has the keys to drive this home. So there may have been a man off in the wings interested in her. Again, this is the depiction that didn't get there soon enough. Okay, but I feel like it's not a bad thing, because what she's got here is unconditional, and it is a connection that is beyond. It is very unique. It is very like puzzle piece that to fit exactly. That's what it is. Man, this is heavy. Okay, so on top of the unconditional love that's highly aspected that we received this to help heal, this man really truly sees her for her worth and really does. I feel he knows everything. He knows everything about her, even more than she does, and is supposed to be there. I feel this. Now, yeah, then we get the 3 of what? Wands in the sex deck, and that's about the reward. This guy, I don't know, they look like they're kind of in a hay barn. I don't know where they are, but it's like this is a reward, like the final push. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I should go to the book. Sorry, I'm a little thrown. I'm gonna go to the book and just read it out of there. Completion of a seduction. Giving pleasure, initiative, and decisions being made. Exactly. The completion of a seduction. And I don't feel it's devious. I feel it's pure of heart. This person here, I don't know why. Like, there's something off about that, okay? I'm not too sure here. But anyway, on top of that energy, to clarify, let's go there. What do we get? In the 3. Okay. There. That makes sense. That fits, thank God, because I was going to lose it. Oh, man. Gemini, what is going on? Okay. So, we have this Knave of Pentacles, okay? Knave of Pentacles is about jealousies. About, look at somebody going off in the sunset. It's not me. Damn it, I'm upset. So you kind of snooze, you lose. I hate to say it that way, but that's kind of the energy I'm getting. Somebody really wasn't meant to be there, therefore they are not. But they are highly, highly agitated because of this. They wanted a part of this. The Three of Swords is about heartbreak, right? It's about wanting to be anywhere but here. This man that wanted to connect with this woman that is now taken, he lost his chance. He lost it. But the reason he lost it is because he wasn't really meant to be there in the first place. Wasn't meant to be there. So there was somebody in the wings here that wasn't the perfect match. It wasn't the right one. Why? Because this person is built for this other person. And why? Again, on this sexual side here, this is the unconditional love card. You can get no higher than this spiritually in this deck. That is it. He loves her passionately. He loves her unconditionally. And he loves her with everything he has, and they're both naked to each other. So there's a truth and an honesty that they can get nowhere else, right? And that is the completion of that. There's a completion here. It's highly aspected. The sun is shining. Yada, yada. If I can get these in the right place. So now the infinity cards tie it all up. Holy llama. Okay, on the 8 again. Somebody swooped in here a little quicker. There may have been someone on the sidelines trying to cash in here, but it didn't quite fit. And there's a reason it didn't fit, because it wasn't meant to fit. So on top of that, we get people pleaser. I feel like both these people have a tendency to do this. They are people pleaser quality of, you know, they like to please each other. How do you say? I was supposed to say they like to please people outside of themselves, but they also get a charge out of pleasing each other. And I feel this happens at an equal balanced rate. Okay, so that's that. Now, next, the Three of Wands, the completion of the seduction. What do we get on there? Is the chemistry. Yeah, there's a lot of chemistry between these two, right? And the people pleaser is always about jumping through hoops for someone else. This man would jump through fiery hoops for this woman. And this other man, I don't feel he would do that. He's too passive. I feel like that was his energy. That was his energy, even though he's fire and he's flaming. So there was two very solid competitors here, but this one was not built for her, was not built for this process of life. So therefore he could not win. He did have a cup overflowing, but again, I feel more from this guy that's where it's coming from. He's pissed off, he missed out, but he really wasn't meant to. So there's disappointment there. But nonetheless, these two are together. They're going to be living out their life, pleasing each other. There's a lot of chemistry that is being felt by both of them that attracts them both. Now on this 3, what do we get? Evasion, yeah. And this man here, he may be trying to evade another relationship and wasn't quite removed from that either. So, you know, this could be dually. We have one in our background, but they have one in their background. And they may be losing out. Someone here that is just kind of down on their luck in a love kind of way. But the sense is here is they may have been trying to run away from a relationship, so not pure of heart to come in this direction. So that would have been running. So you really don't want to get into a relationship where one person's running away from someone else. It's just not a great energy, right? So, man, again, sorry about the crying, but the animal card to tie this all up. The dolphin and happiness. That is, and look at the belly there, right? Pregnancy, that could be significant. 42. Lots of dolphins. They are high vibrational beings, the highest that I've perceived in the animal kingdom, and they are all about the love and the happy joy. They look this constant smile plastered on their face. So it's all about the happiness, and I feel like these two coming together. I'm just gonna leave this card out. Nope. These two coming together is just the joyous event. I mean, I think everybody's smiling. Again, a very unique energy for these two. I don't know if twin soul even covers it. I don't know that they're from this earth. Really. I feel like they're here to teach others or to rise vibrations. Da da da. Right? I don't feel like they're earthly bound. I feel like there's more to this than that. This is what I feel. This is through the Gemini. So there's your reading. It ends happy. And we may not be in a happy mode. I mean, this again is weekly. But I feel like this is forecasting somewhat into the future a bit. Keep in mind the dates of July 20th to 23rd. June 20th to 23rd, which is creeping up right away here. There are huge energy pulls to get us towards these people that we need to, and kind of bump away the people on the periphery that aren't really, they're kind of trying to creep in on stuff that's just not theirs, that kind of thing. So the dolphin is about happiness. That's how we end. The Knight of Wands in the sex deck is about the compassion this man carries for this woman like no other. Again, otherworldly. These two are people pleasers, and that's what they're going to do for the rest of their life. It's dedicated to pleasing each other as being an example of this on earth. Okay, I'm done here. Woo! Okay, that was Gemini. Heavy duty. Somewhere, that's what's going on. Next week, okay. Libra, last but not least, the scales of justice. Where do they sit? What? The King of Swords. Okay, here's another character. King of Swords. You may have an air sign. This is your sign. So we may be steadfast in something here. Very critical about something. Making decisions about something or communicating something forward. Yeah, they're just showing me all that light shining from that sword again, right? Are we cutting things out, making decisions, da da da. So keep that in mind as we move forward. Next card. Man, they're all upside down. The Fool. I don't read reversals. I can tell whether or not the energy's good or coming or going or whatever. King of Swords, yeah, the Fool. So we have cut something out in order to move in a new direction forward, is the sense I'm getting from these Libras. Again, grounded energy here. Focusing on that. Yep, moving forward. Okay. Nine of Cups, we are trying to make our wishes and dreams and hopes be fulfilled here. Yeah. They're making me look at the... She's not looking at the love in her cup. Now that means something. There's love emanating. Okay, yeah. There's love emanating in her cup here. So Libra, we're not focused on that love, but we're feeling it all around us. So there's a dreaminess here. An energy of dreaminess that's coming through here. And again, ungrounded. So a need to be grounded. We may be somewhat ungrounded in our dreams and whatever. We may have had to cut some things away and are now dreaming of things that are not here. And they're going, keep in mind that we want to stay grounded amongst all of this and what's going on the physical plane. This seems to be through all the readings here. Stay grounded. Realize what's going on right in front of you. Don't stay in the past. Don't dream of the future too much. We want to do this to create energies. But we also have to deal with our present, especially if it's problematic. So on the King of Swords energy, it's a good little light, but it's these cards, certain cards, they glow really bad off. Other cards, it doesn't bother them. So on the King of Swords, again, cutting out an energy, we have the Heart of Stone. And this is the good and the bad of the love. It need to be illuminated. We don't want to be a stone of heart, right? We want to be able to open our heart and be soft and pillowy. We don't want to be hard and unmanageable in this way. I feel like we had to do this in order to cut something out. And And the warning here is don't go forward in this because we need this for future reference. The Fool, again, things that we're rooted in, we need to move forward. And, you know, this love area where we had to make a harsh cut, we may be more grounded in that than we realize, harder to let go than we realize. And the fact that we may have had to put up some walls here in order to, walls or cut off our heart in order to, you know, this kind of thing, just really making me aware of, we want to open that back up again. In order to make our wishes come true, we got to not have that heart in the same condition. We need to soften that up. So the new direction that we go forward, we want to be aware that we don't want to be in our analytical mind, in our mind, we want to be in our heart, period, and our emotions, in our cups energy, not swords. We don't want to be over analytical here to a degree. It's debilitating. Sorry. On the Fool, we have beauty. Don't be a fool for beauty. Every rose has its thorn. Things that may come across our path here. I feel like the Libras may be tempted by something that is very pretty to them. Be aware, because there's a sense here that we get pricked by this. Meaning something that looks really good to us can hurt us to a high degree. Beware of that. And also beauty is more than skin deep, right? And again, there's something rooted here in this energy of beauty and whatnot. We're trying to go forward in a new direction, and we may be focused too much on the beautifying things to bring us forward, so that might be an issue we have to deal with. Nine of Cups, again, making our hopes, wishes, and dreams come to the surface. We have lust. Wow. It's heavy duty. Love, beauty, and lust. Wow. That is in it. We are in it to win it, right? This is, yeah, what we're after. We're after something that gives us a great deal of passion. Lust, right? That's even higher yet. Ecstasy, all of that good stuff. It's all in there. So we may be chasing this. I'm not too sure yet if this is what's going to open our heart, something that we lust after, or like designed. They're going, it's designed to, but we want to make sure we don't go into this where we might get something that's very beautiful to us to help us open our heart up. We got to be careful we don't keep that heart locked on stone, right? We want to be more soft like a flower and open up to that partner, because even though we're attracted, we want to give them more of ourselves. We don't want to be cut off. I hit it. Okay. So 10, the Love, again, there's both sides here, and the fact that it's in stone, we want to soften it up. We get the High Priestess on top of that. So she is the one with all the answers. She is the intuitiveness. She is. So the sense here is the Libras know intuitively what they need to work on here. And I feel a gentleness of accepting this in this way, though we may not speak of it outward. Again, there's some beauty that wants to come forth and show itself to us through a partnership. There's an ability anywhere for us to feel pain, and it might come through this. I feel like the resistance here for the Libra to go in that direction is, ooh, this one could make me feel pain, but they're going, that is the wrong perspective to have. We need to go in to feel like a flower opening. We need to go in and feel driven to open ourselves to it, not shut ourselves out. Because as soon as we think of pain and negatives, we wall up, and that stone heart starts to appear, right? So our intuition knows better. It's trying to train us to be open. We may have had things in the past here we had to deal with. We're going to be open, go forward in a new energy. So on top of the beauty, what do you know? We get the Princess of Cups. Romantic, psychic, imaginative. So that's really softening up this High Priestess energy. bringing it into the love offerings, happiness, joy, longevity, it's all in there. And these swans, they mate for life, highly defensive of their partners. And look at them looking in the direction of all this lust. So we may have all of it in one package here, where all that energy is warming us up for a full meal deal here. So lust, what do we get? Closing loops. And that was the sense, is that I get we have had some stuff in the past turn our heart to stone, but we're going to be closing those loops. Now, may have had something to do in the lustful area, so be careful we don't loop on that again. If we fall for these certain types of people and they keep doing the same thing to us and it's not pleasant, we don't want to get trapped up in that again. Yeah, be aware of that. But I feel like the Libra here is really getting a hold of what they need to close out. So that's the sense I get. Okay, on. The romance cards. We're dipping into the romantic area. We'll see what we have here. First card. There it is, Page of Cups. Now, this page is a little devious, because he's very immature. He's got 2 glasses that are broken. He don't seem to care. He's still got 1 left, and I can still play with 1. So he's kind of the trickster. Now, this doesn't bode well. This may also attach to this lustful energy, okay? Because a lot of times the ego can be hung up in this type of Page of Cups energy. Just emotional immaturity. We just don't take anything too seriously. And if we break a few hearts, oh well, we just keep moving on. We don't have to deal with it. They do. Blah, blah, blah. Right? This is the sense, so beware. That's in the air. Next one, 2 of Pentacles. Now, the 2 of Pentacles is, interestingly enough, about a couple. These 2 are kids, right? We've got goats running the show. It's kind of like goats. They butt their head and then they just keep moving. And they'll kick and flip out every once in a while. And like these kids, the girls kind of going like, don't kiss me, don't show affection, I don't want that, you know, like an old crabby couple. That's really what they may fight and you know, get on each other's nerves during the day, but at the end of the night they go to the same bed and he kisses her goodnight and they go to bed. But they can bicker a lot. So there's a sense of a lot of immaturity and bickering here somewhere. I mean, I don't know where we went wrong here, because there's a lot of adult energy like lust, and then all of a sudden this nice soft energy of the Queen and the High Priestess, or the, what is it, the Princess and the High Priestess. Yeah, a lot of good things there, but then we get this energy of stuff like cantankerous energy of bickering and squabbling and immaturity emotionally. So where do we go from here? And then the 10 of Swords comes in. Now, that is a card about completions. It's also a card about this guy's laying down the rose for the woman. There's a cycle here ending. Either this man is finishing a cycle that he's gone through, or you are doing this, okay, with a partner. Because the sense here, he's going to lay the rose and that's it. I'm done here, is what I'm getting. This card is morphing as I do the readings. Used to mean someone who is admiring someone, but they don't want them to know. But that's not the energy that I have, but I felt the need to explain that. And it's interesting to me, he's wearing a blue suit, and so is this kid. As they grow, maybe we had a partnership here. In this scenario, it may be outside of you somehow, where there's a lot of immaturity, immature squabbling, fighting, and even though we were kind of bickering and whatnot, it's time to put it to an end. That's what I'm getting. So this may be a partner that you're dealing with is going through this, or you're going through this in your partnership, whatever. Okay, so on that Page of Cups, this guy, no matter, I got 1 more cup, I'm good to go. On top of that energy, we get the 6 of Swords. There it is, boys. We're moving on. We no longer want to be in this energy of immaturity and no emotional depth. We are going to calmer waters. You know, this is kind of the squabbling card. That's leaving all of that chaos behind. Now, on top of the squabbles, we get the 3 of Swords. Yeah, we may have had a blowout here. one too many fights, and it just couldn't go no longer. Okay, so the Three of Swords is about the heartbreak. An ending has come here, a time to move on to things that are of better frequency, to say the least. The Ten of Swords, that's that energy of moving onward, like ending, a light ending. I'm going to lay my rose here and I'm just going to walk out the door and that's it. So even though we can be a cantankerous couple, there's a lot of squabbling, we just can't get along as two immature people, or maybe just one immature person, we cannot evolve. Cannot deal with this energy, so a need to move forward here. Ten of Swords, cutting things out. Next card, Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, he is going to move slowly in the direction he feels guided to go, and that is that. He is going to find or offer someone else outside of this relationship something better, something solid, something secure. Okay, on the Six of Swords, that's about moving away. We have the Ten of Cups. Now, when we get into this energy, this is a sexual deck. There's an offer being made here, and the man is just kind of walking by. So this may be, again, however, it may be the scenario you're in. If you're man, woman, whatever, it's going to flip back and forth. Like, it may not be the woman, it may be the man, but take it whatever. Somebody left an offer. There was an offering here to a Libra, is the sense I get. Or the Libra was offering to someone outside of them. The offer was refused, rejected, or I don't feel it's harsh like that. I feel like it was just left. Like, no, I have no desire to go there. I do feel that for some, it's the Libra, and it was their opportunity was given to them, and they passed it by. There's just no attachment to it. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. Now, on the Three of Swords, something here they were attached to and highly heartbroken by. We get the Emperor. That could be an Aries energy. In the Sex deck, this is someone who likes to take control, keep control, and he likes things my way, highway. That's all I'm getting from that. A very control freakish kind of energy. At the same time, I feel like that was not the Libra. I feel like the Libra left that kind of energy. I feel like that was the energy trying to control the Libra. Okay? Taking charge of this person and controlling their behavior. That's what I get. Okay, so on the Knight of Pentacles and about offers going forward, we have the Five of Swords. Now, this is a tricky energy, because again, there's a sort of truth here. This man is slowly undressing this woman. He's kind of got stars in his eyes, right? She seems to be quite, they're making me aware of her hand in his hair is quite solid. Like, she's quite pulling. Because normally I notice this card and I notice the black dress and I say, well, we don't know if we're enjoying this or we're not enjoying this. It depends on other cards. Now we have the Emperor here taking charge. But again, there's an offer here that's been refused. So somebody's leaving someone else, period. That's it. Now, it may be because of the way this person was taking charge of us in a sexual kind of way. Or there's an offer coming in from someone new. Okay? So this card really does stay neutral here for the most part. We'll see what the next layer feeds us. Because I'm not feeling anything overly negative or overly positive. It's just an indulging of this physically. And then someone in our past that was trying to control our behavior in this way. Now, Ten of Cups about that offer being just kind of overlooked. We get the Key, which is about having the answers. Having the answers to things. Or open the cage. So that, you know, what they're making me aware of here is symbolizing a freedom. The bird has been set free. No longer caged. Okay, so this is the predominant energy here. Over top of the Emperor again, I feel like this was the person that had the keys before we got the keys. And they locked us down, that kind of thing. And it may have been a marriage. I don't know. I don't really have a marriage, but it may have been a non-traditional marriage. One, we're in a relationship for a long time, and they kind of was, we were controlled by them to a high degree. Now, on top of that, we get the Anchor. This is interesting. Because this man is really looking at this woman in this relationship. It is not him in that picture here. And he's like, I can't believe she moved on. Like, this is the thing. He never thought he'd lose her by being more controlling. Okay? So, here we go. We got the Anchor, and that is about stability and protection and security. All those good things that are kind of not on lockdown. But at the same time, they make us feel secure. The Anchor holds that boat where it needs to be. Now again, that's on the Emperor energy, so it can be intermingled with such, but I feel this has got a greater sense. Now, I feel this man really thought he had this Libra woman on lockdown. He thought he had her securely in her pen, but somehow she got keys and got freed. And again, there's control issue here. It's not quite on the level, like it's not pure what I'm getting from this Emperor. So as we move to this new energy, because I feel like this is separate energy than the Emperor is feeding off of, we get, woo, look at that. We get loyalty. Now, could be about disloyalties as well. But I feel that an offer was made here by a male to a female, whatever side you're on, that was rejected. Therefore, there are no ties here. But this man, even though he got a rejection, figured maybe he could come back at a later date and just, I don't know, he felt like there was lingering things here. He had a different view. He didn't understand the word no. Some degree here. He figured he'd just come back and pick her up where we left off. What's going on? In the meantime, she ended up becoming intimate with someone here, and she's going to choose to be loyal to that person. And maybe he thought he could come back at any time, whether with or without, and she would just take him back and dump whoever. This is not the case. Because there's this loyalty stands quite firmly with these two. And the only thing I feel him peering in there going, well, he's really going in there going, well, you're going to leave him for me, right? She's like, no, I rejected you once, I meant it, and I will not. I'm in a good relationship here, or at least trying. And I'm going to be loyal to who I'm with, and I'm not going to wreck things just because you say so, that kind of thing. So that's the energy there. There was a stability this man thought he could keep in this woman no matter where she was at. That she was not under, just not a lot of communication there. There's something missing there. Okay, move on. So the 33 again, this woman saying, or the offer being rejected, overlooked. Again, I don't feel a high rejection here. I just feel an overlooking or a passing on it. And the man here, I feel like the one that she rejected was the Emperor. And he just felt he could come back at any point and just pick her back up. Pick it back up where it was. But she felt a high release of freedom here. She found the keys to get out. And on top of that, we have the Ace of Cups. What do you know? And work on her own self, work on her self-worth. There wasn't a frequency difference here when she left that controlling energy, the Emperor energy. There's an essence here that I feel better, I can fill my cup better, and I'm more able to feel love better. Interesting. So again, on this anchored energy that this man felt he had over her, no matter what kind of situation had passed, we get the 9, yeah, 9 of Wands, and that is the energy about a man of privilege looking down upon this woman who has been taken advantage of, her clothes ripped off of her. She is a harlot, so she's been working, and this man knows that, and he's looking down upon her. He can either go help her or take advantage of her in her state. So there's a sense here that we could go either way. And this, again, sitting on the energy of the Emperor, because he's very much, he likes to be in control and take charge. What I say goes, my way, highway, this kind of thing. So there was a high release this woman felt when she left that energy. Now there's a new energy coming forth here for this woman. Intimately, they're learning the ropes. We're at a 5, so we're kind of in mid-stage here with someone else, where we got loyalties here. We got dignities that this man just felt he could just tap her on the shoulder anytime she just take off from whatever she was involved in. Not the case. Yeah. Then we have the 5 of Pentacles. Now that is about being left out in the cold. Now this guy is blind, he's hungry, he's got one leg, one arm. He is down and out to a degree that, you can get no more down. I feel like that's the Emperor. Why? Because now the woman has left him and he has just really got nothing left. And he may have invested to a high degree in this woman. Now again, actually they're giving me a sense here that this is maybe not the Emperor. What is going on here? They're going, our loyalties are to the physical partner we are with at this point. Yes, this is futuristic, by the way. This energy is different. Okay, so this is someone here is down and out and blind and not seeing. Are we with the wrong partner? Is that what they're trying to say? No. Oh, okay, we're going to go one more with the infinity cards. We'll blow it all smithereens here, see what happens. Ace of Cups is about focusing on myself. I appreciate myself more. I'm not going to let others control me. I take the keys, I open the cage, I fly free. I feel better and I'm good to go. This is the energy that I'm getting from this. On top of that energy, we have ego. Right? Ego. Hold on here. Did we reject someone out of ego, or did they reject us out of ego, or something about the ego here? Just give me a minute. She's making an offer. It's being overlooked. That man is an ego. That man is an ego. Okay. That's the ego that we left. Okay. We worked on ourselves here. We had to deal. It was the ego that really turned us off, is what they're saying. We rejected because this person's ego was just out of whack. They could not accept or be humble in certain ways, so we decided that that was just something we just didn't need. Now about this energy of the Emperor taking advantage of situations here. Again, it could go either way. I do not feel that this is the energy that we end up with. I feel it adds to the Emperor's energy. On top of that, we get chill. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think the energy that was attached to this Libra, or trying to connect in ways to this Libra, we had an ego that needed to chill. We needed to meditate, but not even that word doesn't jive with this person. But we really needed to calm ourselves down in the ego department in order to understand this, because there's just a lot of anger and the fact that you want to go outward to control people and own them is not, it's not a pure energy vibration. And this is what this person wanted to do with this Libra. They wanted to control and own this person. Well, that's not love. That's not going to get you anywhere. That's ego driven and just distorted. So that's the thing they're saying, is this energy needs to be chilled in order to make the right decision here. To make the right decision, go help her. She's vulnerable. Get her out of there. Cover her up. Help her get back. Even though she's a harlot, help her get back to whatever. That's the way that we should be doing things. Now, this energy here that's out of the blue, we got loyalties to a man here, or a person, a couple is loyal to each other. I feel more a feminine energy that is attached to that Emperor energy of control. But we may have had the same thing in a masculine way. We may have a masculine Libra here leaving a controlling woman relationship with a woman, or whatever, you know, girl, guy, whatever. So there's loyalties here in a new direction. Now this sits odd with me. So what's the card we get to clarify stimulus? Because the stimulus card is about this guy's on a VR, right? Virtual reality. So it's really refers to porn or objectifying the body in some kind of way. And I feel like really that matches that Emperor energy again, to a high degree, because like we're stimulated by looks, where we don't have much depth, and we want to control things and da da da. So we're stimulated by this, but there's not a lot else. And to the degree that we are quite oh, okay, now I get it, because they're going to a degree, because the chill was here, right? Chill, man. Take your ego down a few notches. If you don't, it's going to cripple you. That's what they're saying. The ego of this man crippled him in this relationship. Thank you. And she ended up taking off. He ended up taking off with another person, and that's where their loyalties will lie, because it's different. We are crippled by our ego. It prevents us from moving into good relationships. We are stimulated by the physical, by the visual, and we don't look beyond that. We don't see beyond that. So they're saying, you know, relax, calm down, and try and get a little bit humble. And this is how we will learn to gain better relationships in the future. And the less we control and the more we allow that person to be free, the better off we are. There we go. Whew. These are all heavy duty. Lesson oriented nonetheless. But I mean, the beginning part of it, again, we might have some, you know, beginnings here in some really great groovy adult energy, no less, with passion and lust and beauty and love. We might be flipping gears, might have 2 or 3 people energy in here that are going in different ways. So the animal card for the Libra is the wolf, talking about authenticity. 7 and 1 is 8, and that's infinity too. I'll give you this, right? That, look at that wolf, those eyes just go right through you. Authenticity, is that person being authentic? If not, they're just going to get chewed up by that wolf. And to a certain degree, the wolf is and can be your ego that'll chew you right up and spit you out, and just, you're not going to get anything of worth here. So, wow, these animal cards are just sitting right in, like they just nail the energy. I'm like I've never seen. So there is a person that is on the outs here of the Libra, male or female. There's a person leaving, and they are really in an ego pattern struggle. They are going to have to deal with that. But the Libra has moved on to a new direction, and it seems like we've got a lot to deal with in good ways there. So that is the readings for the air signs: Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Sorry guys, those yeah, I know I shouldn't say sorry for exposing my emotions, but it's just like a bomb goes off, man. I can't thwart that, and I don't want to start the reading over again, because that message needs to get across to somebody. So thank you for those. I feel a need to note the Gemini person. If you feel driven, feel free to reach out at any time. My email is infinity8readings@gmail.com. I understand, like, you have no idea. So if you need someone to talk to at any point, I'm free. I can do that. I will make time to do that. So thanks again, guys. That is the air readings. I got one more to go here and then we'll be done. That'll be it for the week. So take care, have fun, be kind, and that is it. I'll see you next week.